It's 20 to 9. Let me try and paint a picture of my studio for you this morning. It is this sort of usual scene of disarray, papers strewn all over the place, mugs of coffee and glasses of water, but also as I look around, there's a wonderful, I'm going to say, oil painting of a hare. There's a polar bear with its breath condensing as it exhales. And there is an orangutan, I think, who is sort of feet gripping towards the artist. These are all the work of Paul Matthews from Puddletown. Now, Paul has just been given another award for his work from Chester Zoo for his painting of a chimpanzee, which we've stuck on our social media this morning. And he's our Dorset Lives guest today, so we say good morning to you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Steve.
Let's go from absolute basics here. So how long have you been working, and how did you come to specialise, if indeed it is a speciality in kind of natural history like this?
Well, for about 25 years I've worked at the Dorset County Council, producing picnic site signs and things like that. Then about 3 years ago, the job became redundant, and I decided this was a good chance to start doing what I've always wanted to do, was being a wildlife artist. And also I've gone on to do portraiture as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's an area that, you are working right across the board here. So everything from, I never remember, it's the Arctic where polar bears are, isn't it? Not the Antarctic.
Yes, the Arctic.
And then you're going through Borneo and with this hare, I guess, slightly closer to home.
Yes, Denmark.
Do you? Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Do you work then in situ? Do you have to go to these places to see them?
Yes, yeah. I've visited Africa. Africa's one of my favourite places. I've been there about 4 times. I'm going there in September, actually, the end of September, and I always build up a sketchbook. I know it's not very radio friendly, but I've got my sketchbook here.
Yeah.
And I start from that. My other half, Annie, she does the photography, and she takes photographs of the animals. I'm there sketching, and I build up a picture that I can work from in later times to work up into an oil painting.
So what you've got in your sketchbook in front of you there is some sketches of, these are a couple of lions, and you've done everything.
It's a male lion.
So
there's a whole selection.
Yeah, there he is. So he's lying down. You've got a close-up of his face, and it's a kind of a composite then. So you'll build those up into a painting at some later. A couple of pages of A3 sketches there. So
there's about 50 in all.
Oh,
so
wow.
I won't go through the lot, but it's various things. It's scenery. It's our campsite.
I have no artistic skill whatsoever. But that might just be because I've never, there's that thing, isn't there? You practice makes perfect, and I've never practiced.
Exactly. I think it's a little bit of there's always something in there.
But even in the sketchbook there, and the detail of the watercolor that you've added to it, it's beautiful stuff. Really lovely. So I mean, why natural history? Why wildlife? Why animals?
I just want to get the character and get the feel of it. It's nice getting the soul of the animal, and just that's what thrills me. I can't get into landscape because you can't get that soul out of it. And it's the same with people. I like doing that as well, getting some sort of character out of them.
And presumably, if you are going to do landscapes, and you take your easel and your canvas with you, and where you would set up and you would paint it where you are.
Yes.
But with this kind of thing, you have to take these sketches and composite, and then come back, and it's a version of something that you have seen. How much do you imprint? We're talking to Andrew a moment ago about your chimp painting, which is we'll come on to that in a second. But there's a sort of sadness to it, and I wonder how much you put your emotions onto the thing that you are painting.
Well, very much the lighting. I do a lot of photographs, or my other half does photographs, and I change the lighting in all the pictures that I do, just give it a mood and drama. But also I want to get some emotion. I'm glad you noticed that in the chimp, actually. It is that very melancholic thoughtfulness I was trying to capture.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they liked it in the award as well. That's the thing that they spotted.
Yeah, clearly. So this is an award from Chester Zoo. So what exactly? How?
Well, it's part of the National Exhibition of Wildlife Art.
Yeah.
They have, I think, it's about 4 different awards, And this is one, in fact, this meant the most to me because it's picked by the head keeper and the director of Chester Zoo, and hopefully they know a lot about animals. And they spotted something in it because it's chosen out of about 415 of the top paintings in Britain, wildlife paintings.
And with them having chosen it now, do they have to buy it from you so they can exhibit it?
It'd be nice.
Is that part of the deal?
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah.
But I was going to approach them to see if they'd be interested in prints.
And what is it like? You make it. I mean, they're great works of art, as I say. You make a living from this these days.
Yes.
Does it compare with the Dorset County Council salary?
Not quite. Not quite. It's building up. It's starting to get there. But I also still do the panels every now and then, like village signs and picnic site panels. And as I say, I'm also getting more into portraiture and doing figurative stuff. So I'm branching out a little bit from wildlife.
Because, well, I would have thought that this field would be very competitive because it is, it sounds like it's adventurous. You get to go to places like Borneo and you get to see lions. And I imagine if there is somebody who is 50 or 60 years old and they've taken early retirement, they've always fancied doing a bit of painting, then they might choose to do this. Is it a competitive field?
It's very competitive. And it takes a large chunk of money to go to these places.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this Botswana trip I'm doing, it's like a reference photography trip and sketching. It's going to cost about £9,000 just to do that. And that's before you have all the equipment and everything. So it's a big investment.
Dare I ask, this painting of a hare, it's about an A4. How much would you sell something like that for?
Well, frame, that'd be about £450.
Right.
But it varies. The chimp is just over 1,000.
That's award-winning now. You want to double the price on that.
Should be.
And also, don't be giving us pictures of your paintings to tweet for free. You need to start charging the BBC for that kind of stuff as well. Is there somewhere that people can see your work? Have you got a website?
Yes, it's www.lpaulmatthews.com.
I wanted to. So you're one of these people who's got an initial before your first name.
Yes, it's Lawrence.
I've always quite liked that. There's two people I know. One is L. Ron Hubbard, who's the founder of Scientology.
Oh no.
And one is J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was the father of the atomic bomb.
Yes.
So you join that auspicious group. lpaulmatthews.com.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul Matthews, come back again sometime and tell us how the Botswana trip goes.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Good to see you. Paul Matthews, artist from Puddletown on Breakfast in Dorset.